important for people to know that we represent injured people to the best of our ability, and we've been successful doing that. And I don't say that to have people come to see us because we have been successful. I say that because it's true, and it's important.
Another important aspect is the experience that we have is local experience in the court system in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the South Union Township August monthly meeting to order. We'll start with the opening prayer, silent prayer, and then we'll do a pledge of allegiance. So please stand. Do a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good. Item number 4, roll call. Mr. Schiffbauer.
Here.
Mr. Scott.
Here.
And Mr. Vernon here. Roadmaster's report, I'll handle that. For the month of July, we hauled compost for 12 days. We worked on the Schiffbauer Trail for 17 days, the month of July. We had the guys weed whacking 3 days. Sweeper truck, we went out 6 times. Garbage on Brownfield Road and Cinder Road we picked up. We cleaned out the drains 3 different days. We cleaned out the drains. Our tractor went out 8 days and was cutting the berms of the road. We also weeded Frankhauser Park for the month of July. And we boarded up a house that was condemned on Barton Road by our sheepskin trail. We trimmed trees on Wilmack Street and First Street in Big Brownfield. Also, we took a couple trees out of tree limbs out of the creek here on Brownfield Road. I'm sorry, Brownfield Lane. Also, we took some out on Brownfield Road and Furnace Road. We did a large patch, a milling patch over on Artist Street off the Redstone Furnace Road. We cleaned out the ditch area in the Leith area. We opened a curb up in Salem Heights so they could run their downspouts onto the road. And we poured concrete for the trail over off of Stadium Drive. It's going to be for the bridge. We fixed a stop sign on First and Union and Continental 2. We worked on a drain pipe to help correct the problem on Dixon Boulevard. And we put a new stop sign in coming out of the middle school at the upper end on Helen Street and trimmed some trees back so you could be able to see the stop sign. Also, you're aware that we had to go out Friday night, and at like 4:30, 5 o'clock we were called out and the rain started. I think Mr. Schiffbauer told us total 24 hours from Friday night till Saturday afternoon we had 5 inches of rain in South Union Township, and our men had to close Redstone Furnace Road and Brownfield Lane and Little Brownfield. Stadium Drive past Meadowbrook we had to close down. Redstone Furnace Road by the railroad tracks was closed down. Mulberry and Walnut Avenue was also closed down. Walnut Avenue by the bridge and beyond Mulberry, we had to close it down. We have a lot of damage there. The last house on Walnut, on the corner by Mulberry, lost part of their wall we're looking into. And over on by the ambulance on Walnut Avenue, we had to shut that down, the bridge area. And one of the persons who rent off of, I think the ambulance owned the property, they have a little tiny bridge going across their driveway. It fell in. And then on South Mount Vernon Avenue, 11th Avenue, we had to close that bridge down for a couple hours. And the big disaster we had over Lickhaller Road by the bridge, and Mr. Scott was able to get that opened back up. And also we had to close down Cinder Road and Croston Avenue, and also railroad tracks by Cinder Road. It took leaving the tracks out, and also one of the houses has a lot of damage to it. If I missed anything, Mr. Scott, you have anything else you want to add I might miss?
Thank you.
Mr. Schiffbauer? Anything else? Okay, that concludes my roadmaster's report then. Let's go on to the next item. Sewage Department report, Mr. Scott.
Yes, during the month of July, I talked before about we continued painting the Route 21 pump station. The exterior of the building is now painted. All the steps have been reinstalled. We purchased the third pump. We were in the process of putting the third pump in when one of the newer pumps defaulted, so they took the new pump that we had and installed it in place of that pump, and they're going to get it back to us. They're going to rebuild it, find out what was wrong. I believe it was still under warranty, and they're going to get it back to us. We still have 14 recycling fees outstanding. So if you're one of those, please, it's only $12. Come track down. We'll work with you, whatever we have to do to get that so we can close that out. Manhole locations on the interceptors for the grader. I talked about this last month. They're going to do a model on all the interceptor lines for North Union, South Union, and the city of Uniontown. So to complete that study, they're out getting the locations and depths of all the manholes on the interceptor. We helped them this month find the manholes that they could not find. So I will be reporting on that. Hopefully next month I'll have some sort of update on that. The regrouting of the line in Heritage Hills I talked about last month, that we had regrouted last year and some of it didn't hold up. So the contractor's coming back in to regrout the lines that did not hold free of charge. We're waiting for that work to be completed. I think just all the rain has held them up. We billed North Union Township in Atlas for $600 in overages. We had flooding claims from, we had 2 storms in the month of July. We had July 24th, we had the stream overflow and discharge with 1.5 inches of rain. And as Mr. Vernon said, on July 28th, we had severe flooding with a total of, with our rain gauge, we had 4.6 inches of rain in a 24-hour period, which to my knowledge that's never happened before around here. And he talked about the areas that were flooded, and you know, to be honest with you, most of our storm sewer system was flooded during that storm in the areas that were affected. We did have 4 claims: Brownfield Road, Redstone Furnace Road, Eastgate Road, 2 on Eastgate Road. We're looking into all the situations are individual. You have to look at them individually. We have to. I mean, on the Glissons, it's probably going to be a $20,000 to $25,000 job just for their tap. Option that we could, it didn't work. We thought we had the problem rectified last year with a problem we found down near Hutchison, and it just didn't work. So now we talked to the engineer. We had a couple different options. Mr. Over came up with a plan to tap them into this other line. It's a lot deeper and it's a newer line. They're a different situation. That's like the gentleman came in. They have access to the sewer line. He does not, to the new sewer line. He's on the old sewer line, and we would not be able to get him into the new sewer line. So we have to look at his issue and see if it definitely was sewage, if it was our line that backed up into his house. So there's so many different variables. But if you have a problem, we are looking into it. I had our manager of the sewage, Maxine, here with us today, also our engineer, Mr. Over. We do have comments from the public at the end, so feel free if you want to ask any questions, please stand up and ask me or my 2 partners. That's all I have for the sewage for the month of July.
Anything else, Mr. Schiffbauer?
No,
Hey, Mr. Scott, while we're at it, could you just mention, we have a grant money, if you've been approved, we have some project. Could you mention the grant on that for us?
Yeah, that's storm sewer, but we did use our CDBG community block grant money, and we're going to be putting new storm sewers all through Meadowbrook, and we're also going to put a parking lot. These have already been approved and they've been awarded to the contractors. We're going to put a parking lot down at Meadowbrook where we fixed the ball field up last year, and I know that playground floods. This should take care of that whole situation. That contractor's supposed to start very soon. And also on Brownfield Road, actually across from 1365 Brownfield Road, we're also going to replace the storm sewer that goes from the railroad tracks down to the bottom of the hill on Brownfield Road. So both of those projects should start before the end of August.
They've been awarded already?
Yeah, they've been awarded.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Schiffbauer? No. We'll go on to item number 7 on our agenda, Code Enforcement Officer's Report. I'll handle that. For the month of July, Again, we have one full-time officer works 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday. We have a part-time officer works probably 20 to 25 hours on the day, Monday through Friday. And we have 3 officers who work in the evenings and also on weekends. For the month of July, we had 7 letters sent out for property repairs, 2 junk vehicles, 3 dog complaints. One of the complaints we had a problem on was on the TV screen. Huggins Trailer Court that we have 20 cats taken out of the trailer, 5 dogs, a parrot, and I think there was a rabbit. I think the rabbit was that died before we got in there. Someone left it there, and on Thursday or Friday, didn't come back until Monday. And when there was no air conditioning in the place. We'd just like to have the Angels of Mercies. We want to thank them for helping us. We have no Humane Society in Fayette County, but they came to our rescue, and we appreciated their help on that. Burning complaints, we had 2. Again, we burn only on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And burning has to be out by then. High grass from weeds, we allow 10 inches high before we, first it's a warning letter, then we have to issue a citation. We had 14 letters go out in the month of July. We made 4 residents in Maine unsafe for human occupancy. We have 4 of them. We had no quad complaints in the township. I know we have quads flying all over the township. No one called to complain about it. We had 1 parking complaint. And our officers wrote 16 citations, and they gave out 3 fire lane tickets and 2 handicap. Our full-time officer and part-time on the day traveled 2,160 miles, and our part-time officer traveled 1,410 miles for a total of 4,170 miles traveled throughout the township, just to patrol the help the state police, and also support our ordinances too in the township. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Schiffbauer? No. Mr. Scott? No. Okay. Let's go on to item number 8, motion to approve minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Scott. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer.
Yes.
Mr. Vernon. Yes. Motion carries. Let's go on. Any comments on number 9 on the agenda items? Not on the agenda items. Okay. Let's go over to number 10, the Sheepskin Trail Progress Report, Mr. Schiffbauer.
Yes, we're moving right along. Even though we had the recent flooding, it really didn't do much to damage our trail other than get it wet. But right now it's scheduled the paving of the entire trail will take place and start next Wednesday. I think once we get that finished, it will be a big step forward in doing the final things we have to do to get the trail open. Also, the pedestrian bridge that we acquired through PennDOT will be set in place this Friday. That's down on Stadium Drive where it enters the Hutchison Park. We've decided to take the bridge with, it does have metal framing on it. We're converting the bridge into a wooden covered bridge to help with the aesthetics and the looks of the bridge that will be going into the park. It should be a nice addition to the park and to the township as well. So we haven't picked a date for the final opening of the trail. It should take place later on this month. There's a lot of use already, but I'm sure once we complete the paving and connect the bridge to the park, the usership should be up considerably. So that's the status of where we stand right now with the trail.
Thank you, Mr. Schiffbauer. Mr. Scott, you want to add anything to that?
No, sir.
Okay, to move on to number 11. Motion to participate with the Sheepskin Trail Coalition of Fayette County elected officials. You wanted to touch on that, Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yeah. Going beyond the Sheepskin Trail, the portion that we're building here in South Union Township, the only portion that's been constructed up to date is the stretch from the Connellsville Great Allegheny Passage to Dunbar Borough. Point Marion hopefully will be starting on their section that's located in Point Marion and Spring Hill Township. But we appreciate the support of the Sheepskin Trail in its entirety from the Fayette County Commissioners. They have vocally and expressed their strong support. But I think one thing that must be mentioned right now, that talk is cheap. We're never going to see the sheepskin trail completed unless the commissioners realign their priorities when it comes to financial priorities and supporting projects. Almost in every other county in Pennsylvania where trails have been successful, it has been with the big backing, financial backing of county commissioners. So they're going to have to make up their mind whether they're going to commit to the level that is going to be needed to make the trail happen. We've done our share here in South Union Township. The other municipalities where the trail runs are less fortunate when it comes to their financial capabilities, and that is why the county commissioners is going to have to contribute substantially. There's a lot of money out there for trails, but the thing of it is it's matching money, and most of the municipalities do not have the financial ability to come up with a match. That's where the county, they have sources of money, the LSA, the gambling money, they have other Marcellus Shale money, and several other funds too that they can commit. But it's going to have to take a realignment of their priorities, and unless they do it, we're never going to see the trail take place. It's as simple and short as that. So we've been talking, the elected officials of the municipality where the trail is running, and what I'd like to propose here today is that South Union Township make a motion, pass a motion that we will participate in the Sheepskin Trail Coalition of Fayette County elected officials. It's going to be an advocacy group, a group that is getting together and speaking in one voice and trying to work with the commissioners to make that commitment that I've been talking about here the last few minutes. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to South Union Township Supervisors participate with the Sheepskin Trail Coalition of Fayette County elected officials for the advocacy and the supporting and lobbying for the Sheepskin Trail.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second on that?
I'll second Mr.
Second by
Schiffbauer's motion.
Mr. Scott. Any questions on the motion? Roll call. Mr. Schiffbauer.
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mr. Vernon, yes. Go on to the next motion.
I'd just like to state that we're the first municipality to take this step, and we should be seeing action taken by the other municipalities that are along the Sheepskin Trail here shortly. And hopefully we'll be attending the commissioners' next meeting to express and speak out with our support and encouraging commissioners to do what they have to do.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on to item number. We're going to do item 12 and 13 together because opening up bids for 3,300 ton of stone in various sizes, and also opening up bids for 1,000 ton of super paved coal patch. Counselor, you want to see? I don't know if they're broken down. I don't know if it's, the envelopes haven't broken down. Let's do the stone first if you have it. I know there's one of them says stone.
All of them say letting. One says
You want to just open this cover up and we can.
that's going to be stone.
Yeah.
Mr. Davis isn't here from Davis, but we have his associate here with us from Davis.
And white envelopes done too.
This is stone? Okay, the first one is from Cool Spring Stone Supply Incorporated.
It's not very sharp. It's up in age there. Open it.
You talking about one of us or what? Are you talking about one of us?
Yeah, you can do that.
Not very short left.
He's young. Who's that from? When you opened up?
Cool Spring.
Cool Spring, yes.
You want to announce?
Cool Spring Stone Supply Incorporated.
Okay, you want to give us your bids?
Yeah.
Yeah, broken down like this.
Yeah, do the price per ton. We don't have to do it all, just do the totals.
Okay. 100 ton
Number 10.
of number 10 stone for $1,300. Unit price $13. 500 ton of number 8 stone. Unit price $21. total $10,500. 600 ton of number 67 stone, $16 unit price, total $9,600. 900 ton of number 2A stone, unit price $13, total $11,700. 700 ton of number 57 stone, unit price of $15.50, total of $10,850. 400 ton of number 3A stone, unit price $15, total of $6,000. And 100 ton of number 1 stone, unit price of $15, total of $1,500. Total contract price of $51,450.
Is our bond okay? Is there a bond on our budget?
It appears to be an order, yes. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay, this one is from Wendell H. Stone Company, Incorporated.
Where are they located?
606 McCormick Avenue.
Connersville.
So we have 100.
Sorry.
We have 100 ton of number 10 stone, unit price of $13, total $1,300. 500 ton of number 8 stone, unit price of $25, total $12,500. 600 ton of number 67 stone, unit price $16, total $9,600. 900 ton of number 2A stone, unit price of $13, total of $11,700. 700 ton of number 57 stone, unit price $15.50, total $10,850. 400 ton of number 3A stone, unit price of $15, total $6,000. And 100 ton of number 1 stone, unit price of $15, total $1,500. Total contract price $53,450. And there's a cashier's check for 10% of the bid amount.
The only two we have for stone?
53 or 60?
53. 53. They're all the same except for the
Except for the
500 ton of number 8.
I think we're going to have one more for stone. This one will be from Bolskin Stone and Lime, LLC. They are located in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Okay. We have 100 ton of number 10 stone, unit price $13.50, total $1,350. 500 ton of number 8 stone, unit price $19.60, total $9,800. 600 ton of number 67 stone, unit price $18.30, total $10,980. 900 ton number 2A stone, unit price of $16.30, total $14,670. 700 ton of number 57 stone, unit price $17.65, total $12,355. 400 ton of number 3A stone, unit price $17.85, total of $7,140. and 100 ton of number 1 stone, unit price $18.20, total of $1,820. And I don't have a total for that.
It's $58,115.
$58,115 total contract price.
It's all the stone we have. It's all for stone. You want to just double
That would
check
appear
here?
that way.
Suit coat, you just had for the coal patch, right? Yeah.
And Gold Needle Construction.
That's just for asphalt and coal patch.
Okay, those would be the only stone.
Okay. Want to open up
That bond's in, you had a bond for that one too?
Yes, there is a bond for this one.
Do you want to take action on this one and then open the other, or?
We can. We have a motion
Yeah.
to take action on this one, on number 12.
I mean, the apparent low bidder would be Golden Eagle Construction, or
Cool
Cool
Spring.
Spring Stone Supply at $51,450. And I think the other one was $53,450.
Right.
$2,000 difference.
Make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid of Cool Spring Stone Supply for various, how'd you read it? 3,300 tons of stone in various sizes.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Scott, do we have a second?
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer.
Yes.
Mr. Vernon, yes. Motion carries. We're going on to number 13. We'll open those bids up.
Okay.
That would be for super paving coal patch. 1,000 ton.
I'm glad to see we got,
Yeah.
that's the first time since I started that we've had other bids on the stone. Usually it's just Cool Spring.
We used to bid it out twice.
The first one's going to be from Golden Eagle Construction Company. Okay, so we have 800 ton of super paved 9.5 millimeter wearing course, unit price $53, total $42,400. We have 100 ton of super paved 19 millimeter wearing course, unit price $49, total $4,900. And 100 ton premixed coal patch, unit price $75, total of $7,500, and total contract price of $54,800. There is a bid bond, 10% of the amount. Okay, the second is final is going to be from Suit Coat Bentleyville in Bentleyville, Pennsylvania. Okay, it's 800 ton super paved 9.5 millimeter wearing course.
They only bid the one line on it.
Okay.
It's the coal patch.
The only thing they bid was the 100 ton of premixed coal patch, $86 unit price, total of $8,600.
Golden Eagle was on that same line item, $75 for $7,500. That's the only other bid that we had for that.
That's it?
Golden Eagle has the proper, the bond and everything in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion then to approve a bid of Golden Eagle as lowest bidder for all of
Yeah.
them?
Golden Eagle's the apparent low bidder on all line items. If no one has any questions at this time, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid of Golden Eagle Construction for 1,000 tons of super paving and coal patch.
Okay.
Totals $54,800.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Scott. Do we have a second?
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Okay, with a second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Any questions on the motion? Roll call. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon, yes. Motion carries. Okay, we'll go on to item number 14. Motion to sign and submit the declaration of disaster emergency form to the Fayette County Emergency Management Agency. I could read this whole thing, right? I'm just read the whole thing. I can read the whole thing.
Do we need to read?
Council should read I can read the whole. I'll just make a motion. Whereas on or about 7/28 of 2017, a disaster had caused or threatened to cause injury, damage, and suffering to the person and property of the Township of South Union, Fayette County. Whereas the disaster has endangered the health, safety, and welfare of a substantial number of persons residing in the Township of South Union, and threatens to create problems greater in scope and problems the Township of South Union may be able to resolve. And whereas emergency management measures are required to reduce the severity of the disaster and to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the affected residents in the Township of South Union. Now, therefore, we, the undersigned supervisors of the Township of South Union, pursuant to provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Service Code, Purge 35 PA Section 7501, as amended, do hereby declare the existence of the disaster emergency in the Township of South Union Township in Uniontown. In fact, there's a typo there. We'll correct that. It's South Uniontown. I'll correct that. My motion says South Union. Further, we direct the Township of South Union Emergency Management Coordinator to coordinate the activities of the emergency response, take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the effects of the disaster, to aid in the restoration of the essential public service, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this emergency. Still further, we authorize officials of the Township of South Union to act as necessary to meet the current demands of this emergency, namely by the employment of temporary workers, by the rental of equipment, by the purchase of supplies and materials, and by entering into such contracts and agreements for the performance of public work as may be required to meet the emergency, all without regard to those time-consuming procedures and formalities normally prescribed by law, mandatory constitutional requirements accepted. This declaration shall take effect immediately. That'd be my motion, gentlemen. We have a second.
I'll second your motion.
Second, Mr. Scott. Any questions on the motion? Mr. Vernon, yes. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
We'll sign that before you leave today. Get that in. Okay, let's go over now to number 15. Pass a resolution to authorizing the submission of the LSA grant for the Hutchinson Park parking lot project. Mr. Scott, you handled that. You want to give us some detail?
Yeah, I worked with Dana from K2 Engineering. We applied for LSA grant money to resurface the parking lot area at the Hutchinson Park. I don't have the specific numbers with me, but I believe we asked for $40,000 from the LSA grant to help us aid in paving the lot. And once approval of the LSA grant, if it does go through, I want to work with K2 also on using some of our 2015 and 16 community block grant money to make the difference up in the total cost of the project. I don't know if you want to say anything on it, Mr. Over.
No, I mean,
Familiar with the LSA. This is my first application. Mr. Schiffbauer has helped me, and he looked over the application after we did it because he's been successful quite a few times with the LSA grant. Actually got some money last year for the Sheepskin Trail on it.
so the LSA grant is the money that comes from the casino revenues to the county. The municipalities, all municipalities within the county have the opportunity to apply for the grant. Of course, South Union Township has consistently applied and has had success, and we anticipate some success again this year. There's great competition for the money, and I believe the county commissioners are scheduled to vote on it at their August meeting. So the applications have been received, and they will be making the decision relative to the recipients of the grant money in their August meeting, and hopefully we will be 3 for 3 with getting money for South Union Township residents and projects within South Union Township.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Over. Do we have a motion to pass a resolution now?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Scott. We have a second?
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Scott, and second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Any questions on the motion? Roll call. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon, yes. Motion carries. Let's go over to item number 16, comments from the public. Do we have any comments from the public? We have none? Okay. We go on to number 17, our financial report statement. We have Mr. Schiffbauer, the treasurer.
Okay, from the general fund checking, $282,795.33. General fund investment account, $390,683.58. State fund, $427,084.71. Hydrant fund, $9,244.76. Athletic fund, $3,544.05. The payroll fund, $5,922.19. Sheepskin Trail Fund, $72,505.34. North Union South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $22,926.03. Recycling Fund, $32,566.38 for a total of $1,247,272.34. And from the Sewage Fund, grand total, $2,206,871.22, and for a grand total, $3,454,143.57.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll go on to the next, number 18, on the second page of our agenda. Motion to pay all current bills. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Scott.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to pay the current bills from July. From the North Union South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $5,350. From the State Fund, $21,088.41. The Sheepskin Trail Fund, $45,678.60. From the Fire Hydrant Fund, $1,188.98. The Athletic Fund, $2,290. The Sewage Fund, $144,018.09. And from the General Fund checking account, $248,174.90. That's my motion to pay the current bills.
Motion by Mr. Scott. We have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Any questions on the motion? Roll call. Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer.
Yes.
Mr. Vernon, yes. Motion passes. Before we go to 19, we have a visitor today. We asked to come over. Maxine is our manager at the sewage. Do you have anything you'd like to add? We might have missed Maxine on
No, I
sewage?
think you have it all covered.
Okay, we appreciate you coming over with us today. Okay, well, number 19, our engineer for K2 Engineering, the president of our engineering, Mr. John Over.
Okay,
John.
just a few items. As Supervisor Scott had mentioned, the Greater Uniontown Joint Sewage Authority is undertaking a model, or representing a model, it's called a SOAP study, for the interceptors that basically flow through the City of Uniontown, North Union, and South Union Townships. That model is just beginning. It's probably going to take a year to run the model, but the hopes of the model is to be used as a planning tool to basically try to get the I&I, the infiltration of stormwater that's going into the sanitary systems that creates a lot of problems throughout the system, to basically model to see where those inflows are coming from so that we can take proactive approaches to get that inflow out. Just for example, a normal daily inflow into the sanitary sewer plant that all of our sewage goes to, we usually run around 6 million gallons a day into that plant on a typical dry day. Just to let you know, last Friday and Saturday, there was 22 million gallons of water flowing through that plant on Friday and Saturday. So there was, just figure it out, 16 million gallons of additional flow flowing through the plant that basically is infiltration and inflow, coming from our downspouts, coming from broken pipes, and that type of stuff. So, I mean, there is work being done, but it's all of our responsibility to ensure that we are not adding to the problem. You know, when you jump from 6 million to 22 million gallons in less than 3 hours, there's a problem in the system that we're all contributing to in some way, and that we have to take responsibility for and help ourselves, because if we have to do something to expand that plant, it's going to be costly to everybody. So that's why we're undertaking this study, so that we can be proactive in finding out where the problems are and trying to correct the problems. I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about this storm. Even though it's already been said, the National Weather Service basically reported that this area had 3 inches of rainfall in less than 45 minutes, from 5 o'clock Friday to about 6 o'clock last Friday. South Union Township and Georges Township were the hardest hit according to that weather forecast. Okay, that's not saying that the other areas didn't get hit, but the impact was hardest in South Union and Georges Township. That was a record event for that time frame. The period from 5 o'clock Friday to 11 o'clock Saturday, when the rain subsided, we actually received 5 inches of rain, and again, that was a record event according to the National Weather Service. So there was a lot of water that fell. And just to let you know where we stand in the month of July, a normal rainfall in the month of July is 4.3 inches. We exceeded 9 inches of rain in July. 9 inches of rain in this area in July. Year to date, we are 10 inches above average. So the ground is saturated, the groundwater table is high, the water's got nowhere to go when it comes down. And when it comes down 3 inches in an hour, it really has nowhere to go. It's hitting the ground and going down and just running off. So, I mean, these gentlemen, they care about you guys. They care more than most supervisors do. I mean, it hurts them when you guys get affected by something like this. But this is out of their control. It's an act of God. Mother Nature creates this. There's not much that anybody can do with 3 inches of water in less than an hour. It just happens. One other thing that has come up over the course of this rain event and over the course of this year, because we've had such wet weather, those people that live in communities where there's homeowners associations, the responsibility for the drain lines within the right-of-ways is certainly the responsibility of the supervisors. The responsibility of any drainage devices outside the right-of-way lines is the responsibility of either the homeowners association, if that area has been designated as a common area, and if it's not designated as a common area, it's going to be the responsibility of the adjoining property owners. So that's just basically what you bought into when you bought your house. And that should have been disclosed to you when you bought your house. But it absolutely is not the responsibility of the taxpayers' monies that these guys are obligated to adhere to. So it's not their responsibility to spend taxpayers' money to correct a problem in your yard. So that's all I have, and believe me, I want this to get out to the public. These guys, they care. They care about their jobs and they care about the community. So,
one thing I'd like to add to what Mr. Over said. I know Maxine, our secretary, and here Shauna, if you're thinking about buying a house, I've said this before, and not just here, call the township. Like if someone would call tomorrow and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house in Craig Meadows or out over here in Little Brownfield that I know floods every time it rains, call the township. She can give you the answers before you buy the house. I mean, you know, after you buy the house, everybody wants to, you know, and I had a few people that they get water every time it rains. Well, those houses, they get water when it rains an inch.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to get water. It's nothing that we can do to fix the problem. Like on Friday, I mean, I never saw water run down Brownfield Lane like it did the other day. And the little houses that get flooded all the time right over here from the township, there's nothing you're going to do to stop that flooding. I mean, they're at the absolute bottom of South Union Township, and there's nothing you can do. But tell your friends, whoever, call before you buy a house to check the local municipality. They have the answers. If I don't have the answers, I'll call Mr. Over, I'll call Maxine, you know, I'll ask Mr. Schiffbauer, who's been here forever, you know, if he knows something. So just ask. I mean, everybody wants to blame somebody after they buy the house. They think they get a really good deal on a house, and that's great. We want to see it move into our township. But if it's a known problem and you come to us before you buy the house, I'm going to tell you. If I know something about that house, I'm definitely going to tell you. Maxine's going to tell you, or Mr. Over's going to tell you. So just do your due diligence before you purchase a house, or, you know, talk to somebody, the neighbors, anyone. But like you said, that storm was something. We were all three. We had our whole crew out for almost 16 hours straight from Friday night into Saturday, and it was something like we've never seen before. So hopefully we never see it again. That's all I have.
I'd like to add one thing too. As chairman, these two gentlemen on my side, they spent many hours, even more than I was able to. And if you get in a road that's blocked off, don't try to go through the water. I'm the culprit who got caught. I lost a car that night. Even though my guy says, come on, it was blocked off, I shouldn't have come by. Be careful out there, because it wasn't that deep, thank goodness. I was able to get out and walk away from it. But I did lose my car.
Mr. Vernon, you ought to tell him the whole story. You were trying to save somebody from drowning.
I was trying to get back over to Mulberry and Walnut, and following my guys over. But believe me, everybody tells you, it's true. If a little bit of water, your motor shuts off, you're done. Nothing you can do. I'm waiting for the insurance check now, hopefully. But also, I'd like to thank our first responders, the South Union and Hopwood Fire Department. They were terrific out there with us the whole week. And also, our workers did an outstanding job. I think we quit at 1 o'clock, and we came back out at 7. We stayed till, I think it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon we left. And I'd just like to thank everybody. But these two gentlemen here, I said, and he has experience, and this guy has experience on a machine. They did a tremendous job, believe me. Again, don't go through any streams if it's blocked off. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Over?
That's all.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Scott?
No.
Mr. Schiffbauer? Okay. Let's go on to our solicitor. We have anything to report? Nothing to report. Okay. I have one more thing, and I'll shut up. We do have an Archer Community Picnic this Saturday, August 5th, for old and new members from South Mount Vernon Avenue down by Jamison all the way up to past the bridge, the 4-way intersection there on Dixon and Wiggins. And the old new members are welcome. It starts at 3 o'clock with entertainment. We have, I think it's $5 a person or $10 for a family. We provided food and entertainment and drinks. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, I'm done. Got a motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, I have a couple of questions.
You have a question? Sure.
Yeah. One question, not getting on the sewage problem right now. The road in front of my house. 2 of you are new, but he was probably in office when he would know this. Gun Club Road used to be called 4th Street. If you go to Fayette County and look on a map, 4th Street still exists. It comes in front of my house, around Kemp's, through the playground, and out the top. That's all it services.
4th Street, excuse me, I have the official streets from 911.
It was 4th
Yeah.
Street. It's now Gun Club Road.
Right.
Now, when 911 came in, somehow, and Rocky was in office because he says, no, we did not change that. Somehow he got labeled Gun Club Road from there all the way through Hutchison Club.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the problem I'm getting to. Hutchison Club claims that as private property, private road on both ends. Somebody cut one of their signs down, but one still exists on the ball field side. So when you're coming to the club, they're telling you this is private property, members only. They're attached on my end on the road. Now,
that's our township road there.
My road is there, but between the club, they're claiming that as private property.
We paved there about 3 years ago where we thought was our end of our road there.
But they're claiming it as private property. Follow me. Now, they own all the property across below his house across the creek. Why is it they never went through their property with their private road that they claim is private? Have you seen our street with the rocks, the fence, and stuff that we have to try to keep people out of our yards? They run into his hedge. On the corner, she put a horse corral fence up to keep people out of her yard. I have rocks. The next house down has their chain link fence. Go to Kemp's, there's rocks on both sides. People will not wait at the end to let a car out. They'll drive into our properties. They'll swing into our driveways. I have big boulders that they hit with their cars. But my point is, the club claims that as private road, not township. Why is it they never put their road through their property?
It's a private road. The roads have been there for many, 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 many years. Prior to the township doing their own planning and zoning, I can assure you something like that were ever proposed, it would not be permitted. It's unfortunate when the township did go into business of maintaining their own ordinances and prescribe certain widths and stuff like that for roads and right-of-ways. These older roads were not covered under that. That's why they exist the way they are today. And there's no real easy answer to remedy the situation. It's just unfortunate that that's the way business was done in the past. And there's we cannot make the club redirect the road.
You can't force them to do it, but it seems like that's what they should have done.
Well,
they're going to
grandfather
that's going to happen now.
I've never had anyone ask me to stop.
Well, we had a
speed.
Like Kemp's did a petition one year to get a speed bump put in by the end of their property. The township put one in. The snow plow came by and took it out, and it's never been put
since
back.
I started 12 years ago, our insurance company advised us we could not put them in.
Well, one was there, and the snow plow took it.
Yeah.
But
we couldn't put anything new in. We might have maybe one left in the township, I believe.
That was to slow the traffic down because it does get bad at times. But people don't care. I mean, they don't live there. We live there. But that was that issue. I just asked that question. Why? It's like, can't you tell them to go on their own property or something?
No.
Now, back to that little sewage issue. I can understand you can fix the Glisson's line by going down and tapping in. That road where I'm at is the main line. It comes past my house, past Glisson's. It goes straight across and slightly goes uphill on the end. But right past Glisson's on Brownfield Road is a T that goes up the hill. So now you have all the water forcing its way. Water coming downhill is going to move faster than something that's not slight. So it hits that T. It's got to come this way. Well, on this whole section, nobody has a basement except Glisson's, myself, Kemp's. Nobody has a bathroom or anything, a basement. You go across the road, none of those houses have basements today. So if you fix their problem, and then the water backs up again, who's the only person that has a basement with a shower? And I was going to put a commode in my basement. I don't dare now. My washer was in the basement. It no longer will flood them, but where's it going to back up to other than I'm now the lowest point?
Well, that's what I told you before we had the meeting. I mean, this is the first I've heard of this. So
It's only happened twice where they got hit 4 times.
Right, but I mean, this is the first I've ever heard of it. So I can't give you any answers until I look into it.
Right.
I mean, I'll come to your house, I'll camera the sewer, and find out what the problem is.
Right.
You're probably 10 foot higher than them. So
But I'll be the only one on the street. I'll be the
I
next,
understand that,
I'll
but
be
I
the
mean,
only person left.
Just from what you're telling me, it doesn't make sense that it's the sewage problem. If it is, we'll look into it and see what we can do to fix it. But I mean, their situation is totally different than yours. I mean, you're on the high side of the road. You're way above the sewer line, so you shouldn't be getting water.
But think, where's this water going to go when it backs up? It's not going to keep going uphill. It's going to hit the
it'll
next
discharge.
lowest person.
It's going to discharge down. They're lower than the manhole that it discharges out of, is what I'm telling you. You're not. Your house is not. It can't be lower than that manhole down by Hutchinson. They are.
How could they be lower?
They're 10 foot lower than you. Their basement's at least 10 foot lower than you.
Just be thankful you didn't get what we got.
Oh, I know.
But I mean, I have no problem. I told you.
How would you like to see somebody's?
I'm just saying.
Excuse me. Hey,
You
Jim,
fix their
if you have a
problem,
problem,
I'm the next.
we can talk to you afterwards. You have a problem, we can go over and take the situation.
I told you
no problem.
before the meeting. As first I heard of it, I'll definitely.
Well, no, I never came to a meeting before until now
Right.
because
Well,
this was.
that's
the
fine, but if I don't know
what's
if I don't know what's going on, I can't help you.
We're glad you came.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We'll have somebody come
Yeah.
over, and like I said, we'll camera your line and see what's going on.
Get your phone number before you leave, too. Get your phone number on.
Okay.
Okay, then other questions? You have a motion to adjourn. Mr. Scott?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 4:54 p.m.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mr. Schiffbauer. Questions on the motion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon, yes. Motion carried. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you. Jim, give us your phone number, Jim, before you leave. Oh, Jimmy?
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.